Hey, what's up? It is Dan McDonald. I'm coming out of retirement for a second to make a video for my big brother, Dirty Steve. I'm going to answer your questions, bro, here in 1 second. But before I do, I wanted to let everybody know that on Thursday, I'm doing a live Zoom class. It is entitled, Everyone is Dying, but You Don't Have to. It's probably a reflection of the frustration that I feel about the inability to share anything on the internet anymore in a way that's received well. So anyhow, today what I'm going to be doing is sharing. My brother wants to lose some weight, and he asked me what are the 2 best things I can use from Purzyme in order to do so. And although I love them all and they're very extremely useful, I would say if I had to pick 2, if I had to pick one for you, bro, first of all, the daily juicing habit. I know you got to wash all that stuff out of there, okay? It's all plastic and fake fats. There was another announcement I wanted to make. If you want a consultation with me, I'm still doing those as well. Send me an email. Hey Dan, I want a consultation, and I'll send you the information, okay? TrueRadiantHealth@gmail.com, TrueRadiantHealth@gmail.com. Or you can join the Elite Video Club and you get half-price consultations, and then you'll save $70. So then you get all the live Zoom classes, and it'll take you forever to catch up with all the content over there, and then you get half-price consultations, and you can get yourself on a good roll. Get like 5 with me or something. We'll get you on the right track, you know. So anyhow, today my brother wanted to know what are the best 2 things to use from Purzyme. And so I'm going to say number 1 for most people. Oh wow, dangerously low here on Lifezyme. That really sucks. I got to order another bag. Okay, I got a couple days worth. But anyways, this is a 1,000 count bag, bro. This is what I recommend you get, because you can use this therapeutically and you can use it when you eat that swag. And that's the problem why everyone gets chubby and they get the cellulite and all their organs and stuff get really out of shape, is because they take these fake oils and then they extract them with chemical solvents. Okay, there's a problem. But now you take that same oil and you fry stuff in it. Now things just got a lot worse, because you took a toxic sludge and then you just made it into a toxic sludge that is going to be impossible to recognize and digest. So it's going to sit there as a rubbery glue, and that's the reason why you use the enzymes. Now, for all these fruitarians and stuff, they'll be like, "What? You don't need enzymes?" No, you don't, because you're on a raw food diet using fruit and other foods, and you've been doing it for a while, and you don't have rubberized waste and waxy issue all throughout your entire body. But everybody else does. And so the body doesn't recognize any of that stuff. And so you use those enzymes before a meal of anything cooked. When you high heat everything, you change it. When you eat fast food, processed food, the chemicals are bad enough, but the alterations in the elements, creating these bonds that are just impossible to break down, and that's why you have to do massive enzyme therapy. So at least help yourself with the Lifezyme, which is the digestive enzyme. You take 10 of those before you eat, and you take 10 of them after. And it helps the pancreas and the liver to help break down all of that strange food. Because human beings, they're all insane. It's insane. I mean, I know I'm kind of crazy with my juice, but at least it's just a liquid. My body is a juicer. So I'm just like, well, hell, I'm going to save myself all that energy from having to move all that bolus through and then take a big dump in the morning. I'm just going to drink the juice and forget about it. You know, so and that way I can have like 1 or 2 of these and just go all day long and go on the hiking and the biking and everything else. And so anyways, I'm just going to try to keep this simple. I'll go into way more detail on Thursday on the class. So join me over there. Lifezyme is number 1, I think, really. This is it's kind of the flagship, tool that we have, Purzyme, before meals and after, for the cooked foods, for the mixtures, all the mixtures. I mean, if you want to eat bananas, eat papayas, eat something, but simple, plain stuff, plain ass food with nothing on it. Eat like a peasant to feel like a king. Eat like a king and you will be sad like a poor man, because you'll be poor in spirit. You'll be just sludged up when the light will not even move through you anymore, because there's just too much debris in your temple of light. So we're breaking it down with the enzymes, and you also use these, bro, when you are on therapy, which is the juice. So you take it with meals and you take it with the juice. I consider the juice on an empty stomach. Obviously it's not, but there's something magical that happens when you take these fresh juices. I got all this out of the garden except the apples. Beets, carrots, ginger, lime, bam. So it's highly electrical right now. Pure blood transfusion, okay? Then you take these Lifetime when you take the juice. And that'll start breaking up all the trash in your GI tract. Rubberized, rotten, sulfury, eggy, burpy grossness. That only really comes up when you stop eating for 3 or 4 days. Then you taste your mouth and it tastes like butthole cheese. And you're just gross, and you breathe on people and it's like, but that's all down there that you keep covering it over every day with your new meals. But it's affecting your consciousness, it's affecting your life, it's affecting your blood, it's affecting your organs. It's a waxy, rubbery ossification. And depending upon what you eat, you know, they use animal bones to make glue, animal fat, and they use grains to make glue as well. They both work pretty damn well. So pick your glue, you know? But if you've been glued up and sludged up, then you use the enzymes to start helping you break that down. These are the Lifetime. The next one is, well, so there's enzymes and then the cleanse is what I'm gonna tell you, bro. This is the Lifetime. This is the best. You get 1,000 of these for like $150. Last couple months. The Purzyme though, and this is what they're using because it has the nattokinase. I shouldn't even get started on this nattokinase. So everybody did a thing during the COVID because they were like, hey, well, you get a free cheeseburger or whatever. And they did it, or get your job. I would have got another job or whatever. I would have never done nothing with any of that business. But this has got the nattokinase in it. This has the serratiopeptidase. What I actually tried to do, and it might happen soon, is to combine to have the serratiopeptidase and the nattokinase in one formula. So it's like, you know, they both are, they're using that to break up the blood clots, okay? So these are both awesome. This is more affordable and kind of stretches out longer, but these are like 3 times as concentrated. So if you're seriously, like if you have cellulite or tumors, or you're just like, feel like a sludged up fast food junky blob rolling down the street and you want to get it going, these are more expensive, but they're also 3 times as concentrated. Can you dig it? And that's the Purzyme. I don't mean to cause confusion, but there's just, you have to understand. And I use all this stuff interchangeably, you know what I mean? I'm on a journey, bro. Like I went through it, okay? And I'm coming out on the other side of this thing. And this is no joke. It's like whatever your deal is, man. But the food and society is just, I'm not gonna say it's wrong, because I'm not against any food. I'm just saying this is going to be the physiological response in your human organism, because the law or the laws, they're not gonna bend around you. You're gonna have to mold yourself to them. You're gonna have to mold yourself to nature. And the reason why we use this stuff, and it does grow on trees, it grows on mushrooms as a matter of fact. And the mycelium are two things in nature. Mycelium breaks everything down, i.e., mycelium also creates a communication network to build things up. So what's crazy about enzymes, and this is true with your liver too, your liver and your pancreas makes enzymes, but the problem is look at the food we've eaten. Now we are just destroyed. Our pancreas is ruined, our gallbladder is ruined, our liver is ruined. And we get older and we just don't produce the enzymes that we used to. So we get into these deficiencies and then it really starts getting clogged up because the food is funky. So they've grown on mycelium, and that works to break things down, and also as a communication molecule to build things up. So at the same time, that's what's amazing about enzymes is they're anabolic and catabolic at the same time, depending on what you need. They will break down the crap that shouldn't be there and help you to build up what needs to be there. So bodybuilders would do amazing to take enzymes for the anabolic effect of the substrates that are being bound together to build up. Okay? So you have two substrates, you have an enzyme that connects, but you also take those substrates that need to be broken down. And in most people's case, with the overweight and the cellulite and the rubbery, waxy, blocked up, clogged up, sludged up, thick, viscous, calcified sludge. It's just rubber. That's what it is. It's just rubber. And you got to break that down and get it out. So that's the enzyme side of it. Okay, and that's where most people need to break the crap down. Now, before it was just, there wasn't all the chemicals. And those chemicals weren't necessarily deep fried. Yeah, maybe they had a wood-fired oven, or the animal flesh was fired over the fire, or the acrylamides in the oven. But we went for millions of years without any of that, and all of a sudden, here's a bunch of chemicals, here's a bunch of deep fried, here's a bunch of baked. Mix it all together, and then it's all in there, and it's just a smorgasbord. And your body's going, okay, I give up, forget it. And then you start taking enzymes and your body starts going, oh, okay, we might be able to do something about this if you start putting in more of the good stuff that dissolves the sludgy stuff, whatever mucusless foods or alkaline foods, there's 1,000 different names, but it's basically like your body is this electrical water sack that has some gases. Gas transfer, and then you have microbial exchanges of information. So, but then the rest is just poop. So nobody can even tell you what the hell's going on. So you're just trying to break down the sludge. I should have not even gone on that long. I don't really need to hear myself talk anymore. I don't need to be heard. I don't need to be seen. I just want people to understand. So I take all this time, but we live in a world where everybody wants to learn the encyclopedia of knowledge of every day, 25 hours a day, 8 days a week, and they want it all in a scroll so they can get dopamine and think they're learning. I'm pissed. I'm mad as hell. I'm not taking this shit anymore. So this is the cleanse. This is the next thing. So as you're breaking down the rubberized trash in your GI tract and in your liver and your gallbladder and your kidneys and everything else, but mostly from your mouth to your anus, and then you'll be like, you start cleansing, right? You're a few days in and you get all these mouth sores. You're like, hey, why is this happening? Well, because you're loosening up massive amounts of acids that are sitting in there for years. Not to mention all the worms and the eggs that they produce, and the parasites and all the microbial dysbiosis of the anaerobic. So you're bringing in like, what the heck's in here? You think I just picked all this out of the garden like an hour ago and juiced it? You think there's oxygen in here? As a matter of fact, there are now. Do these anaerobic microbes, do they want oxygen? No, they don't. They don't want oxygen. They want no oxygen foods. So you cook out the oxygen and you process out the oxygen. Well, this is the oxygen. At least that's one of it. There's hydrogen in there as well. And living water that came down from the sky and the rain and the plants took it up. Now I got the distilled, living, gaseous, structured water with these fruit and vegetable acids that are now going to dissolve that sludge and that slime. And I'm going to use enzymes and herbs next, which is the cleanse. And I won't take up too much more of your time. I'm trying to do these like 5-minute videos. I actually do care. I think that's why I share information, but then it's too long. How can you get it in there when you're like, you have years? You could make one video. It would take like 8 hours for me to explain top to bottom what everyone needs to do so that you can get a boner and so that you can keep your, vaginal lubrication as you mature and, lengthen your telomeres. I don't care about longevity or any of that crap. I just want to get it. Can't say anything about that because there's the one real thing that solves all your problems. But as far as the health goes, your GI tract from your mouth to your anus, if it ain't clean and pristine, I'm not talking about being perfect because nobody's gone off the rails more than me. This is a hell of a struggle. I get it. I'm not trying to pretend like I'm holier than thou. I'm not. This is a struggle. You got to keep on going with this. You have to care enough about yourself and the truth and God. Really, it's God that makes me go, okay, if it was me, God, not looking up in the sky, it's actually, okay, God, you're in there, you're everywhere, everything. And I know, and I'm going against it, that ain't gonna work. Because you can do that for a while, getting high, drinking, having sex with people you shouldn't be, eating trash. Anyways, what I'm saying is that you will find out that pleasure is not happiness. Happiness is a different thing. Pleasure and pain, those are twin brothers, okay? But happiness is your natural state. As you get addicted to all the pleasures, that's when you lose your happiness. And that's what has happened to us in this society. And I know, because no one's been more addicted to everything under the sun than yours truly. And if it wasn't for the great God, there'd be no way for this one at all. I think Jesus loves me. This I know, for the Bible tells me so. No. But no, I think Jesus, there was this thing when I was 4 years old on the Ernie and Bert Puppet Bus. You heard the story before, and then boom. I should have been cracked out many, many times, or gotten killed. Remember all those things I was thinking the other day about all the gang fights and stuff we got into? And I was going to tell everybody my hero brother. The one thing I really remember was that one day where I did it myself. I was talking shit, and then then the rival gang came to kick my ass. My brother took these two dudes and just fucking boom, right up against the wall, just knocked them both out. Two dudes at once. Crackle. I'm the skinny little dude. My brother actually has some, strength. Anyways, I remember that day. I learned my lesson. Just shut up. Don't talk BS. Anyways, the cleanse powders. God dang. Anyways, we're lucky to be alive, man. As Jesus keeping my ass alive and on the track. Which, hey, man, everybody is way better than me. I've had all this crap with the gourmet vegan crap and just I was wrong. Now we're getting it to where it's almost pure liquid and pyridine. And it's like, yeah. And the spiritual stuff, that's a whole other dimension. But I just go off on these stupid stories. I gotta stop talking and be like the normal people. I need help from AI. Hi, this is Dan. I'm gonna read it off the screen. I'm no longer a real person. Now I fit into the internet. You know, it's all so not real. I'm still real and I feel bad about it. I'm like, you're still talking? What are you talking about? I'm telling stories. Well, they used to do that around the campfire, but they don't do that anymore. It's all AI now. Get to the point. They have 2 seconds. Gnat on crack, goldfish on meth. Take your pick. And I'm like, hey, it's Dan McDonald. I listen for hours and hours every day. Information. The best of the best. Can't believe it takes me 20 minutes to do this, man. Sacred Heart of Jesus. Punks. So if you ever think of messing with me, you better not. Because I got the Sacred Heart of Jesus. He'll whoop your ass, boy! Don't mess with my boy DTM. I'll whoop your ass. You hear me, boy? You hear me, boy? Punk. I'm gonna eat my vegetables. Ooh, they're so fresh out of my garden. Yo, you got a big old nasty stinky colon and that's why your armpits stink. I haven't worn deodorant in 20 years or underwear. Ding, 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 ding. We have a winner, folks. And I can even teach you men how to grow the size of your testicular fortitude. Yeah! Woo! Sorry, Jesus, cover your eyes. I'm in your ears. He's like, I can see no evil, but I can hear you talking, boy. You don't be talking about them nizzles, you nizzard sack. Getting bigger, 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 bigger. Boom, 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 like a rhinoceros. No, but these guys are like, I gotta drink Manjaro, whatever this. I drink this salt and vinegar, and then I have an erection. But man, I have one when I wake up, I have one when I go to sleep, and I have one all day long, baby. Because you gotta keep it, it's all the same. Your smelly armpits, your sexual reproduction, keep it just ripped. Yeah, be like me, a real tough guy, a real tough guy. Yeah, I'm real tough. I'll beat you up, man. Dan McDonald. You're losing your mind, Dan McDonald. Dan McDonald's not losing his mind. Dan McDonald has long since lost his mind. Ah. How many folks do you have left to give? He has no folks left to give, folks. He's lost his ever-loving mind. Well, Judas Priest. That's what my grandma used to say. Take this and clean out your fucking colon. This is the cleanse powder, kids. And it's gonna break apart all the junk. This is gonna break it down. This is gonna soften it up and carry it out. Then the next day. So you take both of these in the same day. I like to take the cleanse in the morning. You got the powder, which is you get more for your money. But you got to mix it in there with some water or some orange juice, grapefruit, apple, whatever. You got the cleanse caps. That's more convenient. So I interchangeably, if I have some time, I'll make a little OJ, a little grapefruit, a little apple juice, or mix it with whatever I got, some green juice even. 1 or 2 tablespoons, just, start off with half a tablespoon and work your way up. There's no blowout. Well, some people have had a blowout, but it's not like a laxative where it's toxic. And that's why people just blast out. Runs down your leg at work. No, it's not gonna happen like that. This is slow and gentle, but it's been working a miracle for people. They're like, DTM, I can't give up Taco Bell. I'm not gonna give up all my food because I ain't got nothing else. But I will take this and it will make me lose a couple pant sizes. Okay? Okay, cool. I'm saying go all the way. Get your colon cleaned out. Get all the wax and rubber out as best as you can and get all the chemicals out from all the things that happened in childhood. So these are the two that I mentioned to you. I was gonna do this in like 5 minutes. It ended up being 25 minutes, okay? But those are the two flagships that I would say, bro. If you wanna go further and you've got the parasites, you take the herbal blood, the parasites, the candida. It's a system. I should make another video that, you know, it's like you do the cleanse in the morning, first thing. Then you do the Purzyme and the herbal blood second. I don't mean to confuse you, bro. The two I've mentioned for you, this and this. And this is gonna get your stomach down a little bit quick. With the daily juice, 2 juices a day, and then no more drive-through. No more drive-through, 2 juices a day. You'll probably lose about 1 pound a day, dude. And if you schedule yourself 2 or 3 colonics, by the time you go on your vacation with your girlfriend, you might even have like a 2-pack by then instead of a 1-pack, which is the bowling ball pack. So these are the 2 for you, bro, right now to start, okay? But the core 4 and the heal all protocol is the cleanse in the morning, one of either the powder or the caps, and then the herbal blood and the Purzyme second, because this breaks it down, all the biofilms and the rubber. It's a rubberized biofilm. And then this is going to irritate, and they want to eliminate herbs in there, wormwood, that'll kill all the worms and the eggs and the parasites and the candida and the fungus and the mold and everything that's living inside of you, inside your GI tract. So you're trying to use these tools to create a better environment. Herbs, they did it for millions of years. The herbalists were the ones that had the top level all the way until Rockefeller medicine came. And now we're fatter, sicker, more tired, more depressed, more miserable, more sluggish, more slow, and sicker than ever before. Because there's no incentive. Listen to me. You're on your own. The Maha movement, the nobody is coming to save you. Okay? Nobody is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. Okay? Finally, that's 1, that's 2, and this is 3 at night to re-inoculate. And the yogurts are the best because the yogurts, when you have them, and I've been blasting these yogurts, man. I just love it. These yogurts with banana, and you get happy. And that's how you can see how the probiotics make your brain happy. When you eat the yogurt that has trillions and trillions of beneficial microorganisms and they're just in there and you're just like, wow, this is a really good yogurt. Because I make mine that they're exploding out the top. I lost a bunch of batches because my refrigerator blew up and I had to go get a new one. And when it stopped working, the fan, the yogurts got warm and I lost like 3 or 4 yogurts. Because they just got warm and when it just blew up, you know. So anyways, it's the cold processing. So that's the core 4. Hope I made any sense. Enzymes and juice is what you do until you can water fast, okay? Is 30 minutes enough? I'll see you on Thursday. I'm gonna go into a lot more stuff, into detail. And I'm gonna have fun doing it on the Elite Video Club on Thursday. Everyone is dying and all the stuff. I want to talk about what's been going on because, you know, as everyone's getting worse, I'm getting better. So I don't mean to put that on everyone. It's cool. I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just focused. And I don't take no bullshit, you know what I'm saying? God bless you. DTM, I'm out. Thanks, Steve, for asking your questions.